Hi friends! Today we're going to read chapter 5 in Gooseberry Park. Last chapter we met a new character named Murray, and he was a funny bat. He was really interested in learning all about Stumpy too and about her new babies, and he seems to like to eat takeout food, especially Chinese. Today we're going to read chapter 5, which is called Time. And at the end of chapter 4, Stumpy was making it seem like it was almost time to have her babies. So I'm thinking that time might be that it's time for Stumpy to have her baby squirrels. So let's find out what happens in chapter 5, Time. "Kona," Gwendolyn whispered into the darkness, "it's begun." The dog lifted his large brown head from his bed in the corner of the living room. "Listen," said Gwendolyn. Kona held himself quite still and listened. There was the ticking of the Swiss clock on the mantel, the hush of warm air from the gas fireplace, the subtle buzz of the plant light above Professor Albert's violets, and something else. "Can you feel it in the air, Kona?" Gwendolyn shifted her shell around to look at him directly. Kona waited, and as he did, a most powerful feeling came over him. "Is it Stumpy?" he whispered. "Is it time?" The old crab stretched her antennae as high as they could reach. She searched the air. "I believe it is time," she said with conviction. "Oh!" Kona jumped up. "Oh!" He went to the picture window and looked out toward the tops of the trees in Gooseberry Park. "I wish I could be there," he said. He rested his front paws upon the windowsill. "Kona, dear," said Gwendolyn, "you are a most remarkable dog, but, I am sorry to say, not so remarkable as to climb a tree and assist a squirrel having babies." "I wish I were," Kona said with a sigh. "I wish I were that remarkable." "She'll be fine, dear," Gwendolyn said reassuringly, fully believing this herself. "She's a plucky one." Kona stared out toward the park a while longer. Then he began to pace. He went from the living room to the dining room, turned right at the sideboard to the study, circled the study, then paced back to the living room exactly the way he'd come. He longed for a good bone to chew, but he left the best one in the backyard. He plopped down on the floor and began chewing the leg of the coffee table. "Kona!" yelled Gwendolyn. "What?" The dog jumped up so fast he banged his nose on the table. "Thanks, Gwendolyn. Forgot where I was. I don't think there's much damage." The old crab shook her head. "Kona, my dear, there are some things in this life we must experience alone." "Even having babies?" asked Kona. "Even having babies," answered Gwendolyn. "Why, when I had my children—" "Gwendolyn, you have children?" Kona's eyes were wide with surprise. The crab smiled. "Dear, I had quite a full life in the tropics before I was carried off to be sold in a pet shop. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. I'm very devoted to our Professor Albert." "Children?" Kona asked. "At least 50, answered Gwendolyn, "all grown now. And let me tell you, my friend, giving birth is something very private and rather sacred. It was for me, as private as prayer." "Oh," said Kona with a solemn look on his face. Together the two gazed out the window in silence, at the trees, the stars, the clear bright moon in each sky, each with full of thoughts about the earth and its heavens, about mothers and their children, about the profound comfort of shelter and sustenance and the familiarity of home. And both sent forth their best, their strongest, their most sustaining thoughts to a little red squirrel who, at that very moment, was happily nursing 2 baby boys and 1 baby girl in the good green fragrance of a pine oak tree. So there's Stumpy. The end. So the next chapter, chapter 6, is called Children. So I'm predicting, you might already have a prediction, that this chapter is going to be about Stumpy's new children. So let's get together next time and read chapter 6. Till then.